Hello, squires and traveling viewers. After a couple tales regarding people and how to play them, I figured I would enjoy this very special day that is the 9th of Blossomtide to take you home. Well, not yours obviously, but mine. Let me tell you about Avalor. If you wish to steal the idea or have a few leads as how to play in these lands, you may want to jump right here. Otherwise, allons-y. To understand Avalor, one must first look at what is now called Greater Avalor. This vast land east of Valonqar, near the Isles of a Thousand Roses, was once a flourishing center of civilization during the Age of Creation. Its population grew quickly, and the arts and magic advanced even faster. From this prosperity rose three great cities. South stood the capital of Avalor, home to the ruling council and the twin regents. Despite their title, they were not actual twins, but always two royals sharing the throne. They could be spouses, siblings, or parent and a child. As long as two rulers governed together and listened to the council, order was maintained. Along the coast lay Brighter Dawn, the great port and economic heart of the region. It was both a hub of trade and a secondary military stronghold. The city was governed by the steward appointed by the crown, who could sit on the ruling council when needed. Further inland stood Kimble Vale, the scholar city. Known for its deep connection to magic, it was a place of constant discovery and artistic growth. It was ruled by the Arcane Hydra, an order of mages, druids and clerics. Under their guidance, Kimble Vale became a center of knowledge and peace unlike any other in Eldoria. During the Era of Heroes, Avalor reached its peak with the arrival of the Architect, hero of civilization and invention. Her work accelerated progress to extraordinary levels. For a few decades, Avalor led the advancement of all Eldoria in ways that have never been equaled. Even during the dark period known as the Time of Tears, which marked the death of the heroes, the three cities stood united. Together, they endured and remain a beacon of hope. But such greatness could not last. When the world trees of the Elves, west of Avalor, were destroyed by a madman turned lich, the Arcane Hydra and the disciples of the Architect gathered in the capital to respond. They welcomed elven refugees and requested a twig from the last surviving tree, hoping to study it and eventually restore what had been lost. For nearly 50 years, scholars from across Avalor worked toward this goal. They studied the twig, shared ideas, and attempted to enchant a seed capable of growing into a new world tree. At last, they succeeded. Mages, aided by druids of the Circle of Dreams, found a way to combine the energy of the greenery with arcane and sacred magic to create a viable seed. However, the results came with a limitation. The tree would grow naturally, but it would take centuries, perhaps millennia, to reach maturity. Unwilling to wait, one mage introduced chronomancy to accelerate the process. Whether driven by ambition, fear of death, or simple curiosity, no one can say. But the spell spiraled out of control. The greenery involves a form of wild magic, unstable and unpredictable. When combined with other forces, it can produce anything from success to catastrophe. This time, it brought disaster. Within seconds, the tree grew to fill a room. Within minutes, it expanded to the size of a city, destroying everything in its path. When it reached maturity, the arcane tree released a wave of wild magic across a vast portion of the continent. Plants grew out of control, and living beings were twisted into monstrous forms. The capital was completely destroyed, along with all it represented. What remained was a dense and dangerous forest, filled with uncontrolled magic and creatures that few dared to face. In the aftermath, Brighter Dawn and Kimble Vale turned against each other. Over 10 years, the steward of Brighter Dawn declared himself King of Avalor. He renamed the city after the lost capital and banned all forms of magic within its walls, blaming it for the catastrophe. Kimble Vale rejected his authority and transformed into a mageocracy with more democratic elements. Mages, druids, and religious figures were elected to govern through the Arcane Hydra. For close to 800 years, tensions between the two have remained high, often close to war. Yet, both must set aside their rivalry as the arcane wastes continue to spawn dangerous incursions that threaten them. Boy oh boy, after 2 subclasses, a full campaign setting. I must pace myself. Avalor is your typical 3 regions that can't live together setting. In the west, strong anti-mage regulations that spiral out of control to the point that even druids and holy people are not able to practice their craft. Avalor also has a complex relation with the rest of the world, where magic is everywhere. In the east, a country in denial of what happened, doing their best to rebuild all that was lost. And in the south, dangers beyond comprehension, lurking in the shadows cast by the branches of a mysterious arcane tree. If I may recommend, low-level, beginner-friendly adventures should happen in Kimbervale. Magic and wonders are awaiting, and here are a few plot hooks for you to enjoy. Should you want to do a more politics and roleplay setting, I must recommend Avalor, obviously. You can try to follow these storylines or make your own. As for the generations of dungeon crawlers, you may enjoy dwelling in the arcane wastes. From forests filled with threats beyond one's comprehension, short rests requiring watch, the use of magic that may trigger devastating side effects, to a destroyed city below the roots of a unique tree impacting magic. Here are a few ideas for you to nibble on. And if you need a few guidelines or a written overview of the place, you might want to check the link in the description. Now go live adventures in my birthplace. Go and come back to tell me all about it. From your favorite NPCs you've met, to the monstrosities that were cooked in the roots of your version of the arcane tree. Play with it, and come back to tell me all about these stories. 'Twas the Knight from Elderia, happy to serve.